Well, it's Tuesday and today is Tip Tuesday. Hello, I am Lorraine Brock, professional organizer and owner of Get Organized. We are a professional organizing service that services all the Dallas-Fort Worth area, East Texas, Tyler, and the Oklahoma City area. And every week on Tuesday, we bring you tips for getting some area of your home, your life, or your business organized. And today we are going to talk about organization of meal planning. We all have to eat. And this is a very good topic, I believe, for every human out there because we all have to eat. So today we're going to be talking about meal planning. And I realize that not all of our, or that each of our fans, our viewers, are all at different stages of their lives. Some of you are empty nesters. Some of you have kids at home, but they don't eat at home, not often at least. You have those that are just two individuals in the home that may be professionals and they work a lot and they don't eat out as much, or they don't eat at home as much. Or you may have that busy family mode where you have all the kids and they're all hungry and the food budget is completely out of control because those hungry mouths are eating you out of house and home. So we're going to be talking about different resources for different stages of life, and then put a lot of ideas in your mind about what you can do for organization of meal plan. I want to give you guys, to start with, I want to give you guys some statistics out there about the benefits of having meals as a family. So early on in my young mom married life, I wanted to make mealtime a big priority. And it wasn't every night, but I did shoot for 3 or 4 nights a week that we ate meals together, that we sat down as a family and that I cooked a good meal. And I just wanted that time where they saw, my children just saw the importance of mealtime. And when I was going through that stage in my life, I did not know these statistics at all. It was only probably like 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, that I actually came across them. And I was like, there is a benefit to this. And I remember having regular meal times with my family. I'd have to come in from playing, sit down and eat. And so I just want to go over some of these statistics with you guys. So 60 years ago, the average dinner time was 90 minutes. Today, it's less than 12 minutes. Thought that was very interesting. People stayed around the table and they talked. They stayed around the table and discussed life, gave advice, asked about each other's day. And so that was very, very interesting to me to notice that. Some statistics. Now, I've seen these statistics. I will get that word out. I have seen these in multiple different surveys and questions and Q&A and postings on websites. So this is not the first time I've ran across these. I've just particularly taken these from one of our meal planning sites that we're going to be recommending today. And they also reference where they got the statistic. So it says, if you have regular family meal times together, here are the benefits of it. So those that have regular family meal times together are less likely to be overweight. That's an awesome benefit. Are less likely to eat unhealthy foods and to eat more healthy foods. I like that. They are better, have a chance of better performing academically. So in school, their grades, you will see across the board on average that those families that eat together, their kids make better grades in school. The fourth one is they are less likely to engage in risky behavior. And it notes here, drugs, alcohol, sexual activity, premarital sex, all those things are of huge benefit when you're talking about the impact just a family mealtime consistently throughout the week can make in a family, in a young adult. The last one here is they have better relationships with their parents, which is probably why, be honest with you, that the risky behavior and other things are so low, because they probably respect their parents more. They value their parents more. They look for them, to them for wisdom, and just problem solving life issues. So the benefits of family mealtime is undeniably positive. And it's just that American culture is so busy. We tend to run through the drive-thrus, pick up unhealthy food. We miss those opportunities. And I always say we miss those opportunities to pour in to our kids the benefits of what we have to offer, moral value, how you work out problems, their self-confidence, opportunities to praise and acknowledge successes that they've had that day or that week. So this last thing here, it says on this statistic, it says more frequent family dinners are related to fewer emotional and behavioral problems, greater emotional well-being, more trusting and helpful behaviors towards others, and higher life satisfaction. And that is taken from the Journal of Adolescence and Health from April of 2012. And so I wanted to throw that out there. And I realize that everybody that's going to be watching Tip Tuesday is in that season of life with kids, but a lot of you are. And I even think this is helpful when your kids get older and they come home and setting around the table and not just everyone eating in front of the TV. Turn off that TV. Or when your grandkids come over, just that time together that you can deal with life. So I think those are all positive things when we're talking about meal planning today. So I have some really, really good tips, and I have really put some thought into which ones I wanted to focus on. There's so many great tips on meal planning. There's not a possible way for me to elaborate on every one of them. So I've picked 5 tips today that we're going to talk about meal planning. The first one is, what are some online resources for meal planning sites? And I want to give you guys this. So get pen and paper, because I'm going to tell you a little bit. I've used about half of these before, and the other half we just recommend to many of our clients when we're working with them on family management, helping them get control of the things in the home, kids' chores, allowance systems, meal planning, things like that. And so I haven't tried all of them, but I want to go over these websites with you and let you know what I know about them. Now, across the board, as far as pricing goes, and I haven't mentioned these yet, the average cost of a meal plan that you buy on a website is average cost about $7 a month. I have also seen them for $10 a month. I would highly suggest, when you're going out to look at these, that you look at places like Groupon and Living Social. Often you will find discounts, especially the first part of the year, that you will be able to get some discounts off of that. So the first one is emails. So just the letter E, and meals.com. And I've actually used emails. I've used it multiple times throughout the year. And it is an excellent website. It is backed by Dave Ramsey. And recently, I'm not sure if it's still in existence, you could take the word Dave and put it in the promo code and get a few dollars off your subscription. So that's good. Most all these subscriptions are either monthly or you buy them for 3-month increments. So realize when you're buying a meal planning site, subscribing to it at $7 a month, or let's say $10 a month, some of them is not just monthly. It could be every 3 months. So you would buy 3 months at $30. Everyone is a little bit different, but that's about average. So emails, excellent website. Now let me tell you the benefits of emails that I love so much. It's extremely organized. Every week you get an email or you can log on to see the menu for that week. Now the menu is based on your family. It's based on what type of foods that you want your family to eat or you want to cook. If your kids are really picky, you may go with a kid-friendly menu. You might want to go with a low-fat or family-friendly. There's all different ones that you guys can choose from. On top of that, you can choose at which store you want to shop at. So what emails does is it takes the sale prices of that particular store that week. So everything that's on sale, and they make a menu of it for that week, which is like genius. Now, I've not seen that their site works with any kind of coupons. So that would be something, if you do that, you would do that extra. But all the sale items the menu is based off everything on sale. And you can print out these, if you want, save them as PDFs. There's probably an app for it. I haven't ever used the app. And you can reuse these meal plans over and over. Of course, there would not be the items on sale. But absolutely, you can go in there and take that menu and reuse it down the road. Again, for shopping ease, you can go in the store. It's all organized by categories in the store. It's awesome. Then what else it does is, let's say that on Tuesday it asks you to buy a roast. Well, this roast is going to be bigger than what your family can eat. Well, what they're trying to do is the leftovers with. So you take the leftovers of the roast, you made shredded tacos, and that may be Wednesday or Thursday's meal. So it's really telling you what to get, and it's going to use every single bit of that food. Even if you have to buy a little extra one day, and the design of the menu is to reuse it another day for a whole different type of meal. So I love emails, and I've turned it on and used it periodically when I have been busy in different seasons of my life, so I don't have to think about what's for dinner. And other times I'm like, nope, I don't need it. I have plenty of time to go figure out what to eat. I think also having a meal planning site that you use, even if just for, throughout the year a few times, it prevents you from going to the store and picking up and saying, oh, I can make something with this, or I can make something with this, and months later it's still in your pantry. You don't waste as much, and I really think that's a benefit to the pocketbook. So the next meal site that I would recommend is called thefresh20.com, and I'm using the number 20, so thefresh20.com. This is more of a website that's really good if you have a lot of allergic people in your family to certain types of food, or very sensitive in nature to certain types of food. It's more farmer market friendly, a little bit more fresher food, a little bit more time consuming to cook than emails. But again, really, really good here. They don't do quite everything that emails does, but great website, tasty food, and it is definitely an option that I would highly recommend, that I have used before. The other one I have not used, called relishrelish.com, and that is one that we have recommended to our clients before, but relishrelish.com is another great menu planning site. The next one is savingdinner.com. And this one actually is on our resource list too, and has a lot of media attention that it has gained throughout the years, been on different segments and different morning shows. So definitely a lot of backing in that in the media, and really thought that would be a great site for you guys to check out. And that's called savingdinner.com. The last one that I'm going to recommend to you is something I've used years ago, so it's probably changed, but it's called cozy.com. Now, many of you might know Cozy for the many other things that cozy.com offers, and we're not going to get into all of those, but know when you go to that website, they have a plethora of things that they offer, from online journaling to calendar systems and so much more. It is a great website, great offerings that they offer, but specifically they offer a menu planning recipe app. And what you can do is, it says Cozy makes it easy to transfer recipe ingredients onto your grocery shopping list, which I found like genius. And there's probably other apps out there that I'm not mentioning about this, but so you find a recipe, and going through Cozy, what it does is take those ingredients to make that specific recipe and transfers those onto your grocery shopping list. That's obviously digital. And that makes it really easy, so you don't have to do that manually yourself. So cozy.com is an outstanding website for meal planning, among other things as well. So that's our tip number one, was all these websites that you can get some great meal planning options. So number two tip. So what if you are at a stage of your life that you really don't want to cook? You're busy, you want healthy foods, but you don't want to really cook anything. What can you do? Well, look for local meal planning or meal services in your area, ones that would make the food and then bring them to your home. And again, look on Groupon, look on Living Social, because this time of year with New Year's resolutions, even, just a little bit out of January, you will often find that their discounts and stuff are still going on. If you find a site in your area, go ahead and sign up for the newsletter or get on their promotion email list, because what will happen is a little bit down the road, you will get, your coupon, or you'll get like the first week of meals free. So take advantage and try it out. We tried a company called Factor 75, where they actually ship them to your home. So it's coming from somewhere in the United States. And they were okay. I wasn't really impressed. Definitely palatable, but I would not use them again. But one that we did try, and I know that there's a few across the United States. This is possibly more locally in the southern, northern part of Texas. But we used a company called Snap Kitchen. It's actually a store you can go into and pick out things, but they also deliver. I would give their food an absolutely 10 plus plus. There was nothing that we had, and we've done this for months, all healthy, scrum delicious. You can get small, medium, and large portions. It has the calories, the fat content. Man, I tell you, it is scrum delicious. So look at online reviews. Many of these companies will offer, again, a free, $75 in food, or a free couple meals free, or at least a week. That way you can try to see which one you like. There's plenty of them. And so try to get these, and you just have them deliver, and our delivery is absolutely free. We just tip the driver, and it's really inexpensive. Or we can actually go into the store and pick it up at the Snap Kitchen store. So that was tip number two. Oh, and let me say that my favorite dish thus far at Snap Kitchen is the Oven Easy burger with sweet potatoes. So that is scrum delicious if you're looking to try Snap Kitchen. Okay, tip number three on meal planning. So years ago, I experimented with a lot of meal planning, not really websites, but different types of systems. And one of the systems that I used for meal planning was a book called Once a Month Cooking. Now, I know they have made a second version of that. I think the second version came out like in 2007. There's not been anything since. But the Once a Month Cooking is really, it's a way to cook. Basically, you go out and you plan all the food you want to cook for a month, most of that being dinner. You can absolutely throw in some other things like breakfast or lunches, but mainly focus on the one main meal a day, and your main meal for your family might be lunch. So you go in there, you decide the recipes you want, and it puts together a shopping list for you that you can go shop for 30 days of cooking. So you shop one day, then you come back home and you prep maybe a second and third day, or just a second day, depending on what you need. For example, instead of cooking or cutting up an onion every time you need one for dinner, you basically cut up enough onions for all your meals for that month. Then either the third or fourth day, you actually put together all the meals. Now, the key for this type of meal making is that you have to have freezer space, because these meals you're going to put in the freezer and get them out at dinner or lunchtime or whatever it is meal that you're cooking that you want to make the 30-day meal plan of. And that allows you to obviously just grab it with not a lot of work. I used to do this during the month of November and December. I would do it for cookie doughs, desserts, anything that I could grab something, knowing that I would be Thanksgiving, Christmas shopping, all that. It's a great, great way to do it, but it's a lot of work in about 4 days that you really just have to just hunker down and do it, but it's such a benefit for the rest of the day. So there is another book out. It's approved. So it's Seriously Good Freezer Foods is one of them. Seriously Good Freezer Foods, 150 easy recipes to save yourself time, money, and sanity. And then there's the Once a Month Cooking, a proven system for spending less time in the kitchen and enjoying delicious homemade meals every day. So there's 2 books out there that you can look for the Once a Month Cooking type system. And I highly recommend that if you are really limited and being able to get out with little ones in the evening and go out to eat, or you just really want to keep control of a budget. Excellent system for that. So tip number 4, what if you plan to make your meals on your own? You don't want to pay for a meal planning system. You don't want to do the once a month cooking. Like Lorraine, those are good ideas, but they're not for me. So what I would recommend doing is doing it the old-fashioned way. If you're going to plan your meals, I would do it based on your shopping habits. Like for me, I grocery shop every 2 weeks. Normally the 1st of the month and the 15th of the month. So figure out what your shopping schedule is. Maybe you go weekly. Then what I do is I open my calendar and I look at all the days that I'm going to be able to be home to eat dinner. I don't want to buy 7 days of dinner if I'm only going to be home, 3 of those or 4 of those. On the days I'm not home, I'm looking to say, am I eating out? Am I eating leftovers? Am I grabbing, what is it that I'm doing? Grabbing soup and a sandwich, and everyone sort of fends for themselves. So you have to look at your calendar. There's no way you can really make a great meal plan if you don't look at what your schedule looks like for that period of time that you're shopping for. So easy way for making your meal plan yourself is just get out your calendar and see what you're available to be home and eat, and then obviously make decisions based on that. Sometimes you may go out to eat at restaurants and you tend not to eat all your food and you bring leftovers home. Well, maybe if everyone did that in the family, or fend for your own night or your own self one night, then you could have leftovers one night. But remember, you're doing this as a whole family, so it's not just about your leftovers, but it's about everyone eating. So keep that in mind. So tip number 5, what is a great app out there for keeping track of your groceries? Now, everyone's going to have an opinion on this, and I will just tell you one that I use and I've loved. I've used one years ago called Shopping List, but now I use one called Out of Milk. And really, I use it more than just grocery shopping. I basically make a store for every place that I frequent. Container Store. Yeah, I'm an organizer. Container Store's on there. Lowe's, the Walmart, Sam's. I have an ongoing list for a property in East Texas that we own that I need to buy things for it. So basically it's a list app, but it's designed to be like for food, things you'd buy at the grocery store, cleaning products, things like that. And when I need something that's not in my list, I type it in like I need, let's say paper towels, and it puts it on the list. It will ask you if you want the quantity, if you want a certain amount of ounces or size. It asks you that. Then when you go to the store and you're looking at your app, I check mark it off, like I just touch it and it makes a check mark that it's already in my cart. And then it goes out of my list. And when I want to buy that item again, I uncheck it and it goes back into my shopping list. So it's a really great app that I don't have to keep typing things over and over in there. I do it by store, and I really, really like that. So that is called Out of Milk, and I do use that. I have an Android, so I'm assuming that it could be on both Apple and Android devices. Okay, so that is our 5 tips for meal planning. I actually and honestly could really go and talk about this for a long time. I have so many tips about meal planning, but in keeping Tip Tuesday to 30 minutes, that's all, folks. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our giveaway from last week. So let me show you what we were going to. So last week, we're giving away some chalk labeled system, a little package of all kinds of labels with some markers in there, chalkboard markers. This is actually going to go Nikki Green. Congratulations, Nikki. You won the chalkboard labels, and we will be ordering these and sending to you within about a week. And she made a comment down below, and we selected her name to receive the label. So remember, each week we give away something, and based on what we're asking you to leave comments down below, you can be in the drawing. So you'll hear that if you just stay tuned in just a minute. Okay, so let's talk about what we're giving away today. So we showed this item last week when we talked about basically labels and tags. So this is an item that we showed that we're going to give away because it goes so great with meal planning. So I'm going to hold this up. This is food storage labels. And basically they're reusable, they're dishwasher safe, refrigerator friendly labels, 70 labels inside of this. And it comes with an eraser that you can erase them. So we're going to give this away this week, and I'll tell you how you can get it. So if you leave a comment down below of your favorite recipe to share, we're all talking about meal planning. I don't care if it's a dessert, an appetizer, a crock pot dish. Leave your favorite recipe. You can even leave a link to it down below if you don't want to type it all out. In fact, that would probably be the best thing. But leave your favorite recipe, the name of it, and how to make it, and maybe a link down below, and you'll be entered to receive these food storage labels for anything you store in the refrigerator, freezer, whatever, next week. And we will announce you next week on Tip Tuesday. So I love giveaways. Okay. Next thing up is our Tip Tuesday tool of the week. So every week on Tip Tuesday, I hand select an organizing product that either I've used or we've used for our clients that I feel is something that's good enough to present to you guys and show you that it's out there, that exists, and why I love it so much. So some of these are online. Some of these are repurposed products. Some of these are in local stores. So I'm going to try to give you as much information as I can. So here is our Tip Tuesday's tool in here. And let's see what's in there. Okay. So I'm going to reach in here. And I'm going to show you guys what we have here. So, all right, these are called Skubs. And I'm going to spell it for you. It's an Swedish word, S-K-U-B-B, 2 B's. And they are at IKEA. Now, Walmart has something extremely close to this. So if you don't have an IKEA in your area, I'm pretty darn sure you have a Walmart. So what these are drawer inserts, and however you can use them in so many other different ways, including bathrooms. But what they are, and the ones from IKEA come in this black color, and they also come in an off-white, almost white color, and I believe they come in a violet color. I think Walmart's is just the cream off-white and the black. They come in a package of 6, so I'll show you what they all look like. So one of the things I like is that a lot of IKEA's products is collapsible. A lot of their baskets, their storage boxes, basically if you're not using them, you don't have to store them in their full size. You can just zip them down and collapse them. But when you're ready to use them, they have a little zipper and the bottom just zips up. So this is one. And then here's another size. And again, collapsible, you just zip up. And another size. Collapsible, and you zip up. Now, every one of these has a label. Okay, so whether you're looking at it from this side or this side, same thing here. And same thing here. So the package of the ones from the Container Store actually comes in a set of 6. I believe that's the case with Walmart. Walmart might be 7, but I think it's 6 as well. And you get 2 of these size. So here's my hand, how you can see how my hand fits in there. 2 of these size, so definitely smaller, but the larger one is the bigger one. Pretty good size. I and my husband have nightstands on the side of our bed, and so we actually put these all in our nightstand drawers. I actually like the cream colored better because you can sort of see in a dark space what's in it. So not that the black ones are bad. Actually, they won't show dirt as well and wear and tear over time. So there's pros and cons to both. But you just put them in like a dresser drawer for socks or underwear, or we have them in our nightstands for different things that we keep in there. You can keep them in the bathroom. Obviously, you're going to have to keep them in deeper drawers. A lot of times bathroom drawers are not very deep. So if you happen to have a few deep drawers, these might be something you could put hair dryers in, or sponge rollers in, or whatever it is that you might use in the bathroom. They don't connect. So if you don't end up needing all of them in one drawer, you can put them somewhere else. So these are, again, Skubs, S-K-U-B-B, and we love them. They're a pretty big staple that we use in our clients' home a lot because they're only $5.99 at IKEA. Yeah, I just said $5. Yeah, you heard me right. It was $5.99. That does not include tax. Isn't that a steal? That's like a really good price. So make sure you pick some up. And if you don't have an IKEA, go to a Walmart, and in the organizational area, you'll see them. I saw them just a couple months ago. Okay, so next Tip Tuesday. We're going to do something a little different next Tip Tuesday. We are going to have a segment. It's going to be in the evening. I think we're shooting for 8 p.m. in the evening. It's going to be February 12th, and it's going to be Ask the Organizer. So basically what we're going to do is I'm going to come on. I want to have some things that I can talk about, but then I'm going to start taking questions from you guys. Now, I may not be able to get to everyone's questions, but basically I want to talk to you. You put up a message, you ask a question, I'm going to talk about it. And on live on Facebook. And if you have a picture or anything that that you need to sort of describe to me or send to me, and we're going to talk about it. So I want to help you with your organizational challenges, your space dilemmas. If you need a tip about something, I'm always going to just have loads of information to talk about. So I'll try to get to as many people as I can, have some other great things to talk about along the way, organizing tips and stuff. But I want to answer your guys' questions on Tip Tuesday. So be thinking of something around your home that you're having a challenge with and would love some free expert organizing tips and solutions coming your way. So next Tip Tuesday, February 12th, it will be 8 p.m. in the evening, and it's going to be good. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Oh, I wanted to leave you guys with something that this is, I guess this could be like a bonus tip. This is a weekly meal planner. You see it's sort of colorful. There's a website out there when you're talking about doing your own meal planning. If you want to write it down on a piece of paper and you're not want to use technology of any sort, there's a website that will blow your mind called organizedhome.com. It has tons and tons of resources, and not just for meal planning, but basically it's a website full of printable charts and forms, all cute. And you can go in there and print out a weekly menu planner. You can do a freezer organizer, like what's in your freezer. They have all kinds of them. So go to organizedhome.com and you can print this out amongst all others, especially if you're trying to do your own meal planning and you're not wanting to use an app or any kind of meal planning subscription. Good resource. So I think that's it. So as a reminder, lastly, before we go off air, is we are giving away these labels for next week. So how do you win them? I'll tell you. Leave a comment down below about your favorite recipe. Make sure you include a link to where that might be online, or if you don't have a link, feel free to type your recipe. I don't care if it's an appetizer, if it's a dessert, homemade ice cream. Something for Valentine's would be really cool. I've got a very good one I will probably share in the thread. And I will also include in the thread, I'll make a comment down below, the websites we talked about for meal planning. So you will have those as well. So that's awesome. So leave a tip down below, not a tip, but your favorite recipe, and you'll be in the drawing for these next week, and we'll announce the winner on next Tip Tuesday. Well, I am Lorraine Brock with Get Organized, and thank you for joining me on Tip Tuesday, where I'm here to give you tips about your home, life, and business, about everything to get organized. And I look forward to seeing you again on Tip Tuesday next week. Bye. Happy Tuesday.